Hey everyone, good evening. Welcome. So hope all of you are able to see my screen and can hear me. Can I have a confirmation, please? Team, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
Murali.
yes.
Perfect. All right. So hope all of you have your R Studio and R is installed, and hope all of you are comfortable with why you are here and what you are learning. I think that all of you are comfortable. That's what my assumption is. So with that assumption, we are going to start with a proper R programming today. That is a proper R basics we are going to start today. Okay. So today and tomorrow, we are going to cover all the data types that are going to be present in R. And please ensure whatever we are going to learn today and tomorrow, that is going to decide your journey, your fate of your journey in R programming. So it is going to be that important. So I'm requesting all of you, please pay maximum attention for today's and tomorrow's session. And anytime, any questions or anything that you have, please stop me then and there itself. Okay. So what we are trying to learn today, we are trying to learn today, which is nothing but what are going to be the data types that are present in R. Data types in R. Why it is going to have a lot of attention here is, unlike your previous ones, unlike whatever we have in SAS, whatever we have in any other programming language, here data types are very broad. More categories are there. Mean to say, in SAS, I just have character numeric. Easy to understand, easy to follow, easy to proceed with. Simple. But when it comes to R, there are plenty. There is a high level of categorization. I can call them as atomic data types, non-atomic data types, which is also called it as a composite data types. Then you also have special data types. Three things are there. So what are them? I have atomic, which is nothing but basic building blocks. Then I'm going to have something called non-atomic. Then I have special data types. Three different data types are present here. Each of them again have the subclassification: logical, numeric, integer, complex, character, raw, vector, list, matrix, data frames, factors, date and time, right? All these things are there. So when you have these many number of things, we need to understand each one of it correctly. And we also need to understand each one of it, where will you use? If you go to any book in R programming, you know that, hey, this is numeric. Numeric means it is going to be a simple one. That is, any number, if I wanted to store it in a floating point number, I'm going to store it as an integer. Fine. Simply, I can say x less than hyphen 10. Then that's nothing but I'm going to assign a 10 value to a numeric data type called x. But where do you use it? Better to have some examples in clinical, better to have some examples in banking, so that we understand that each of it, how do you use it in the respective domains as well. That is what we are going to do today. You're not simply going to talk about what is logical, what is numeric, what is integer. We go one step ahead, and we're also going to talk about each of this particular one. We take some examples, we take some cases in each of the domain, and we try to understand it. So without wasting much time, let's start talking about it. So the one that I'm talking here is going to be data types. R is going to have the several data types. Again, I'm going to give this note separately, don't worry. For now, I'm just going to write only the very high level notes, right? So the very first type of data type is going to be, we categorize them into atomic data types. So let's have the broader level of categorization first. One is atomic data types. Second one is going to be non-atomic. You can also call this particular one as composite data types, the second category. The third one is going to be, you can also call this particular one as a special data types. Special data types. So today we will be concentrating on the first level. The first level is going to be what is your data types that are going to be fall under atomic. So under the atomic, you are going to have a couple of them. A couple, to be precise, there will be 6 of them. One is going to be numeric. Then you have something called logical. Then you have integer. We can learn in any order. There is no need to be in a specific order. Any order you can learn it. Then you are going to have something called complex. Then we have something called character, which is very familiar in SAS. And then we have last one, a special or a different kind of a data type, which is nothing but it is going to represent the raw bytes, which is called raw. So these are going to be the basic data types that we have under atomic, right? So broad categorization of data types are going to be 3. Number 1, atomic data types. Number 2, non-atomic or composite data types. Number 3, special data types. Today, our complete concentration is only going to be on the atomic data types. That too, each one of it, we are going to understand what is the numeric data type is. For an example, if I take the first one, what are going to be the general examples for that? That is how to create them. Number 3, how the numeric data is going to be represented in the banking domain. How numeric data is going to represent in the clinical trials. Take some examples for that. Then I'll give you simple use case. I need you to answer that. I need you to help me how to create them as well. This is going to be the story for today. So can we start? Can you go with the first one? All of you? Yep.
Yes.
Wonderful. So let's start with the very first one, which is nothing but the numeric data type. Okay. So in a simple nutshell, if I want to say that numeric data type is the most fundamental data type used to represent the numbers. It can be used to represent the numbers. Represent numbers. I'll give you the different notes later. I'm writing only the high level notes now, but I'm going to give you the more detailed notes later. Next. It have different formats. That is, you have integers, you have decimals, you have numbers expressed in the scientific notation as well. All these 3 things are there, right? But by default, remember, as per the definition, if I go with the definition, as per the definition, numeric data refers to numbers stored in either floating point or integer formats. What I'm trying to say, either floating point or integer formats. So either of floating point. So the floating point, you can also call it as a double. So don't worry about going with what is int 32, int 64, double, all those you don't need to go right now. You don't need to go right now. There is a time where we can go with. For now, understand that these are going to be 2 different formats. By default, we are going to put. One is going to be a floating point. Another one is going to be the integer format. You might be thinking, what is this floating point is? Floating point is nothing but if you have a decimal point, that is 125.25, there is a point in that decimal point, it's a floating. If I say simply 125, it is a integer, as simple as that. Then what is, some time back I also talk about a scientific notation. What is scientific notation? 2.5 e power 4. What is that? 2.5 into 10 to the power of 4, which is nothing but 25,000. Correct or not? All these are going to be the part of your numeric data type only. Numeric is nothing but it is the one which is going to accept the data in the form of any numbers. That can be integers, that can be decimal point or floating point numbers, or the numbers that you can express in the scientific notation. All these 3 it is going to accept. But by default, it is going to accept either of floating point or integer point. Okay. Then storage is also important. Default numbers in are stored as double precision. That is nothing but 64-bit. Your machine, that is your laptop, if you see, your laptop can be 32-bit or it can be 64-bit. Correct? You can see that by going with your what I can call it as manage. In the manage option, you can see that, or you can go to the properties also, you can see that. Either it can be a 32-bit or it can be a 64-bit operating system. Or always stores the numbers in the 64-bit floating point numbers. But if you wanted to specifically store it as an integer, because I talk about two things here, integer, floating point. By default, it will store it as a floating point. But if you wanted to store it as an integer, you need to use explicitly a suffix called L. What is that? Explicitly, you need to put a suffix called L. We will see the examples and you can easily understand it. So just two things I'm talking now. What is the definition? What is the storage type? The definition is going to be, it is going to represent the numbers. Floating point, integers are scientific notations. How the storage is going to be? Default, it is going to be a 64-bit operating point, floating point value. If you wanted to specifically say, I wanted to store it as an integer alone, I need to use a suffix called L. Okay, now how to see that? Let's start with some of the examples to understand it. Examples. Very first one, let us say A. A is one of the variable that I'm going to create now. A. You know how to assign it. Yesterday I told you. Equal to is the one that we are going to use in any other programming language. When it comes to R, it is going to be less than followed by hyphen. Now, I'll say 123.45. Tell me, what is the meaning of it? Is it a floating point number or is it an integer? Everyone.
Floating.
Floating point number. Okay. Let us say I'm just going with B. For the B, I'm saying that 30L. I told you some time back, I'm going to use L as a suffix if I wanted to store it as integer. So it is going to be integer. Wonderful. Now I'm going with one more. C. I wanted to say C as 2.5 e power 6. That is scientific notation. Am I correct or not? 25 lakhs. Simply it is going to, sorry, 2,50,000. That is 2.5 e power 6 is nothing but in your calculator 2.5 into 10 to the power of 6. So how do you understand this one? I can simply say the first one is nothing but a floating point number. Correct? Now the second one, if I come to the second one, it is going to be, I can call this particular one as integer. Because I use specifically, I use a suffix. That suffix is nothing but my L. Third one, it is going to be a scientific notation. Scientific notation. Correct? Let's run these three together now. You run all the three, right? If three variables are created. Now the question is, how to know each one of it? How do you know that it is going to be a floating point or it is going to be something? How do you know that? Is there a way I can cross-check them? Anyone?
By giving the name.
Okay, let's say I'm giving a name called A. Okay. A is coming as 123.45. How do you know whether it is going to be an integer or it is, what exactly it is? How do you know?
The class function can be used.
What is the class function?
It will give the data type of that particular variable. Either it is a numeric or.
Can I say class of A? That is what we are talking about? Class of A?
Type of A.
In bracket, yes, the variable name.
Okay, I'll go one by one. It is saying numeric. It is saying numeric. But again in the numeric, is it an integer or it is going to be something else? How do I know it? Someone said type, correct? Let me go to type also. Type of A. It is saying that the type of A is not able to find. Why?
We
Type?
should give type of.
Okay, you should give type of. When we are not sure of what is the name of the function, what we can do? Hit double tap, correct? Now you can see, I can see type of, and you can also see that the type of is the one which is going to give me the value of that. Type is the function I can use it in Python. Type of is the function that I can use it in the R programming. Now you can see what I'm getting here. It is giving the exact value of it, exact data type of it. I told to you, if it is going to be a floating point, by default, it is going to store it as a double. Is it coming now? All of you, is it coming now? Right? To understand the nature, to understand the property, if you wanted to check the function, I can go ahead with type of. There is another way also. There is another way also. I can say is dot numeric. I can say is dot numeric to check whether it is a numeric or not. To check whether it is a numeric or not. In the numeric again, if I wanted to check is dot, let's say, is it an integer or not? I want to check. Now you can see it is an integer or not. It is not an integer. It is a numeric, but it is not an integer. Correct? Suppose if I go to the third one, integer of is integer of b. Now tell me, is a b integer or not?
B
Right?
is integer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Now are you getting it? How to check it? Right? I want to check the property. Always see, start from here. To check the property of a variable or of an object, I can use type of. The other one, to check the variable is a numeric or not, is a numeric or not, I can go ahead with is numeric. Then to check whether the whatever is given, the variable is integer or not, then I can go with is integer. Now to print the value, I can simply go ahead with print of.
Print of A.
Set print of A, I can go with the print of B, or I can go with print of C as well. Correct? So to print the values, either I can simply type the variable name or I can use the print function. Then to check the property of a variable, I can go with the type of A, right? Now let's say type of A, type of B, type of C. Let's see all the three, right? Let's run all these three together. Now you can see. Only if it is going to be an integer explicitly, you will get integer. All other things are going to be double. Is that what I have mentioned here? By default, it is going to store everything either as a floating point or integer format. Right? If you want to explicitly have the integer, use L. In all other cases, go ahead with normal value. Only the integer will be represented as integer. Everything else will be represented as a double only. Now, is it giving the clarity of what is the numeric data type? Can I have a confirmation? Now, yeah, someone is asking, sorry, Shravanti.
Nothing.
Okay, fine.
I'm
Now, no problem. Now, let's talk about, let's say in the numeric, let's say this is numeric data, right? Can you tell me, in banking, I wanted to talk about banking. In banking, in what scenarios I'm going to use it? To store what I can use it? Simple. In banking, where and all, numeric variables are used, or numeric data type is used. Now tell me.
Account number.
Wonderful. Account number. Okay. But there is
everywhere where the digits are present.
a
Values will be digits.
okay. Loan number, digits will be present. Along with the digits, numbers also present. Sorry, alphabets also present. I cannot.
Only numbers on
Only
the
numbers.
variable. Yeah.
Right. Even account number, guys, though it is having purely numbers, I don't store it as a number. I'll go with a character. What I'm trying to say? Even account number is purely of the numbers, I don't prefer to store it as a numeric. Instead, I prefer to store it as a character. There is a simple understanding. Anything which not, even though I have the numbers, but if I'm not doing any mathematical calculations on that, I don't store it as a number. But it is not mandatory. It is not mandatory. It is up to the person who is developing it. For an example, if I am the developer, I don't store account number as a numeric. I'll store it as a character. There is one more reason for it. Let me show you. Can I store this as a numeric?
No.
Why?
No,
All zero will be
because of leading zeros.
Exactly. Your account numbers will be having the zeros, leading zeros or not. Your credit card numbers having leading zeros or not. Right? So,
Yeah.
though it looks like a number, completely all of them are the numbers. I don't store it as a number. I prefer to store it as a character. Clear, right? So just trying, we all know everything. Just we are trying to have the detailing. So in general, I can go with account number as a what I can call it as numeric. Nothing wrong in that. Let's say that my account numbers does not have leading zeros. Fine, absolutely fine. So I can still consider it. I can still consider it. Other than that, let's say I want to check the balance. What is the balance? Account balance. What is my loan amount? Right? What is the interest rate? Rate of interest. Right? What is the transaction value that you have done? Let's say I just started a Swiggy food right now. What is the transaction value? What is the total revenue your company is generating? Total revenue, yearly revenue. All these are going to be stored as a number only. These are the classic values or classic variables where I'm going to use the numeric data type. Correct? Now your interesting part, you're all interested in clinical, correct? Help me with clinical now. In clinical, where do you use numeric data? I need variables.
Age variable, sequence numbers.
Age variable, wonderful. Sequence numbers. Then
Stress and values or eval.
stress and values, nothing but standard results values. Results.
Yes.
Results. But again, I have a
Eval.
problem. I have a problem over there. All the results I cannot do, but you specifically mentioned that results in numeric value. I noted that. Yes. Then
Eval in Adams.
eval in Adams. Okay. Eval. A analysis value. Both of them same only, na? Analysis value is nothing but your results value only, na? Mrityunjay, you mentioned that something called, what is that? Visit details. Actually, not visit, it is visit numbers. Visit number. Visit numbers. Tell me still, you're not touching other domains. You're only talking about demographic, and then you talk about lab. Nothing else you touched. Nothing else you touched. Go one level up, na? Okay, dosage.
Randomization.
Randomization, what do you do in the randomization? Sample size. In the randomization, go with the sample size. Huh? That will be good. P-values. I'm just going with the stats now. P-values are simple blood pressure. All these are the ones where I can use the numbers. Wonderful. So now you know where to use, what to use, both of them you know. Now I'm going to ask about a very simple question. Everyone should answer it. Okay, you need to build the data and you need to tell me the end-to-end code for it. Now, calculate simple interest. I'm asking, calculate simple interest. Interest for a loan amount of $10,000. $10,000 at an annual interest rate of, or annual interest rate of 5% for 3 years. This is what I want, guys. I need the simple interest. I given you the loan amount, I given you the annual interest, and I also given you the period. Can you help me how to do this? I given the tenure, I given the annual interest rate, and I also have given the principal amount. Loan amount is nothing but principal amount. All I want is the simple interest. Calculate it and print it. Write a program for me. Not expected, right? This is how I ask the questions going forward. And you know, everything that you need to give the answer for it, you already know. Because you know how to create the variables. You know the mathematics. From the childhood, we are learning about bank interest, simple interest, and all. From the 4th class, 5th class onwards, we are learning this. So I believe you all remember what is the calculation is.
First we create variable.
Tell me, how to create the variables. You tell whatever the variables you want to create.
Okay,
I'll do it.
So sir, loan amount.
Okay.
Loan amount.
I'll just say, okay, loan amount, that we can go with the same. Okay, loan amount. Assignment less than or equal to, sorry, the less than symbol hyphen. Then 10,000.
10,000. Then sir, next variable.
Rate of interest.
Rate of
ROI.
interest.
How much is
ROI?
that?
5%. Then time.
Not time. Okay, tenure.
Time or duration.
Time or tenure. Anything will be okay. Tenure, which is going to be 3 years. I'll put 3.
Yes, sir. So first we create data frame for this.
Why you require a data frame for it? I haven't teach you the data frames.
Okay, sir. So simply we can create new variable output.
Okay.
Interest.
Okay, let me ask you a simple thing. I'm not asking you to do it in something fancy way. Let's say your brother is there. Your brother is asking, hey, 10,000 is the loan amount that I have taken for a 5% rate of interest for 3 years. Tell me the interest. How much interest I need to pay? This is the question your brother is asked. What you are going to say? You simply calculate and you are going to tell the answer. I need only that. Okay, this is the simple interest, not even the other one, compound interest. Simple interest, this is the amount. That is what I want. Okay, let's say you're saying simple interest, right? Let's say simple interest. How to calculate?
So it's 10,000 multiplied by 5 by 100 multiplied by 3.
So you're going to write again here 10,000 into 5 into 3.
Yes,
P into
Loan
amount into ROI into tenure.
Yeah, if you do the same thing, there is no need of creating the variables over there, right?
Okay.
Into tenure. Right? That's it. But here you have the percentage. Yes, here it is a percentage. So to convert this, I need to divide it by 100. That's it. Now, whatever I have here, I'm going to calculate now. I have the value because the simple interest value here is showing as 1,500, but still I need to print it. Since I need to print this particular one, I'll go ahead with print followed by the simple interest. 1,500. Done. Done. Right? So now you have the numeric values. You're going to assign that by using the less than or equal to. You're doing the calculations also. Right? All I need to do is where to multiply, I'm going to multiply, where to divide, I'm dividing it. I'm just going to get the final value. Correct? Simple. Okay. Now, there are bank transactions happen. 10 random bank transactions happened. The range is going to be 10 rupees to 5,000 rupees from your bank, from your account. You let's say from morning I went to tea shop, I had a tea, 25 rupees. My kid came along with me. She need 2 biscuits, 2 5 rupees or 10 rupees. Second transaction. My wife is not interested to cook today, so we went to Babai Hotel, have some tiffin, 300 rupees. Like this, from morning to till now, I have done around 10 transactions outside, including the Swiggy order just I have placed a couple of minutes back. All I would need is these transactions are ranging from 10 to 500. Yes, Krishnan.
Sir, if we put ROI in variable 5%, you just put only 5, right? If we put percentage as well along with 5, will it calculate?
Percentage, it don't know.
Without 100?
It don't know, right? Percentage value it cannot recognize, right? Okay, you do one thing. You do this as it is. What it is telling? Boss, I don't know what is the value of percentage. I cannot recognize it. You understand, right? R cannot understand what is the meaning of percentage. You know that percentage means it is a rate of interest percentage. It is divided by 100 I need to put. But R don't know, unfortunately. Because 5 followed by this is a special character again. You need to either put it into the double quotes or you need to put only the digits. If you put into double quotes, it will become a character. Same as SAS. In SAS also, if you put 5%, it cannot understand. Programming languages are different than human languages, right? That is where the interpreter comes to the picture. You know that someone taught you already right from the childhood. Hey, Krishnan, this is percentage means it is going to be divided by 100 I need to put, right? To get the true value. But no one teaches that to R, no one teaches it to SAS. Unfortunately, we need to teach it. Either you need to put 5 means 5% of this means 5 by 100 value, I need to put it there, 0.05. Or you leave it as it is as a 5, and here you can calculate it, divided by 100. That is how you need to do it. Clear?
Okay, sir. Clear.
Yeah. Wonderful. Now, go with the second one. I wanted to simulate my transactions. All I need to do is, I have done random transaction from morning to till now, right? So I just wanted to make sure that any 10 transactions ranging from 10 to 500. The minimum transaction I done today is the biscuits, which is going to be 10. The maximum transaction I done sometime back is going to be my dinner. 2 biryanis I have ordered, which comes around 700. So 10 to 700 are going to be the minimum and maximum values. 10 transactions I have performed. I need 10 random transactions that I have done from morning to till now. I need the details of it, just transaction details. Can anyone tell me how to do that? This will be called it as transaction simulations. I want to do the simulation, not the original numbers. I'm not giving you what is the amount. I'm asking you my minimum and maximum transactions only I have given you. So you create it. So all I'm trying to do here is, let's say, simulate. This is what we regularly will do. That is, randomization concept will come here. Simulate 10 random banking transactions ranging from 10 to 700. This is what you need to simulate and tell me. So what is the first thing? I need 10 transactions. The minimum value is 10, maximum value is 700, right? That is the first thing that I would need, correct? So what I can do is, I simply say transactions. This is the variable I'm creating it. Instead of I create 10 random numbers one by one, we can use some functions. Don't worry, we are going to understand all the functions that is available later. For now, my interest is just to create some numbers and to give you the exposure to the different numbers, only the numeric data. You can use a function called run if. Run if. Can you see the syntax over there? What is the syntax it is showing? N, minimum equal to 0, maximum equal to 1. N means number of transactions. How many you want? I want 10. Then it is saying minimum is equal to, you cannot go less than 0. Minimum is 0, or you can have any number. I say that my minimum transaction amount is going to be 10 rupees. Right? The maximum transaction amount that I want to do here is going to be 700. That's it. Done. Now drag it to the left. Go here. Can you see? Can you see? What it is telling? Number 1:10. It created a colon. We discussed about this. Yesterday I told you about this one. Colon is nothing but for the range. When you use this particular function, between the 10 to 700, automatically it created 10 values. Now I want to print all those 10 values. Print transactions. That's it. Now it is going to print all those. Every time you run it, the randomization function is going to print different values. Yes or no? Yeah. So why you're saying, Murli, you can ask me, Murli, why you're talking about the functions right now? My interest is not about the functions. My interest is about what are the various numeric values are there, how I can play with that particular one. That is my matter of interest here. That is my matter of interest here. Okay. Now, okay, let's talk about something. Let's talk about something here. There is a patient or there is a subject whose dosage is going to be 10 milligrams. 10 milligrams. Reduce the dosage by 10% and adjust the value. Reduce the dosage by 10%. That is what I want. What is that? There is a subject, right? There is a subject whose dosage is 10 mg. Reduce the dosage. Reduce the dosage to 10. Reduce 10% dosage to 90%. Reduce the dosage to 90% of original and show it as adjusted dosage. So why you do this? There is an adverse event happened. Because of the adverse event, the AECN, the action is going to be dosage adjustment. Yeah, the dosage adjustment. I wanted to reduce the 10% of the dosage. This is what I need. Tell me how to do that.
New dose or
New dose.
adjusted dose
First
or
of all, you need
adjusted dose.
the original dosage
We
first,
need
right?
it.
Original dosage is 10. Next, yeah, tell me.
New dosage.
Okay,
Or
new or
adjusted dosage.
adjusted dosage. Anyways, the variable also ready. Is
10 into 90 by 100. Sorry, dosage into 90 by 100. Or
either you can go with
0.9.
Simply I can go with 0.9.
0.9.
Now I'm simply going to print both of them. Correct? So print what is going to be the dosage and what is going to be the adjusted dosage. Can I print like this? Just asking. Can I print both the values together by using comma?
Yes,
No, right?
yeah.
So when you want to print multiple values, I'll teach you how to do that. We can do that as well. For now, don't go there. Maybe a lot of things are popping here and there. Let's go until this. 10 and 9, right? So numeric is all about, I want to represent the numbers. It can be floating point numbers. It is going to be the scientific numbers, or it can be a regular full numbers. That is nothing but complete numbers as well, without any floating point, right? All these things you can simply put it under the one thing that you can call it as the number, right? I'll just call this as a data types. Data types, right? So far we know only one data type, and that one data type is going to be part of the atomic data types called as a numeric, and we are good with that particular one. At least we know how to create it and where to use it and what are the examples of that. Now, part of the numeric data type is part of, or I can say the subtype of the numeric data type is going to be the integer data type, right? So let's try to understand what is going to be this second data type, which is nothing but integer data type, which is actually part of, it is actually a subpart of your numeric data type, right? So I can simply say subtype of numeric data type. Okay. What it is going to do? It is designed to represent whole numbers. Full numbers, whole numbers. No fractions are allowed, completely the whole numbers, right? While R is going to, why there is a reason why we wanted to deal this is, sometime back, if you remember, when you're checking whether it is an integer or not, for floating point number as well as for scientific number, directly it is given that it is a numeric. It's numeric means true, it has given. But when you check whether there is an integer or not, it explicitly called it as it is not an integer. Means R specifically understands that numeric is a different data type and integer is a separate data type. So our default, it is going to convert the numeric values to the doubles and store it. Whereas integers can be explicitly represented by appending the letter L to a number. This we need to write it here. That's the reason I haven't write it at the top. We haven't write it at the top. That is, integers are explicitly reported, are explicitly represented by appending the letter L, the letter capital L to a number. This has to be done. Only we are going to use it. Can anyone tell me the reason why, Murli, already the number is there, numeric data type is there, why again I have to go with the integer? Any idea? Why should we do that? Any idea?
If we want,
If the
if we
length of
want
bytes
number
is
without,
more,
One by one, please. Go ahead. Anyone now? Okay.
so basically the length will be, it will take read up to 64 bytes. If it has more length, it won't read, right?
Which one?
In that case, if we want to present whole numbers length, then we should give the integer with the L.
Right. If you want to go with the whole number, you are going with the integer. Fine. But why? What is so special about it? By representing a number as a L, what you are going to achieve? That is what I'm asking.
if we want a number without any decimal, I mean 1.00 is also 1 and simply 1 if you want simply 1, just in that case.
Okay. Maybe I'll ask you this. 25 is the one I wanted to store it. If I simply say x is equal to, okay, age is equal to 25, it is going to consider this as a float, correct? It will store it as a float. If I say 25L, it is going to store it as an integer. By doing this, by storing it as an integer, do you have any benefit? That's what I'm asking. If you don't have a benefit, there is no need of doing, right? Correct or not? We are doing until unless there is a benefit, we don't do it. What is the benefit I'm asking?
For the numeric, it will take as 25.00 as like naturally if we don't mention the L symbol.
Again, the answer is same, Sandhya. I'm asking, am I getting a benefit or not? That's what my question is. What is the benefit? Yamini, you answered it. Yamini answered it in the group. Anyone? Okay, let me tell you. Integers are memory efficient ones. The benefit that I'm going to get here is, if I go with the numeric data, by default, it is going to block 8 bytes of data for it. 8 bytes. In the memory, 8 bytes. If I put 25L, that is, I'm asking R to store it as an integer, The moment you say it is an integer, it is going to occupy only 4 bytes. Half of the memory I'm saving there. So what is the benefit? Why we should do it? I can simply leave it as long as, let's say I have enough memory, I can leave it, nothing wrong in that. The only reason why I wanted to explicitly assign an integer data type to the specific variables is going to be, one, I know that there is no chance, that there is no way that I'm going to get the decimal points in that. First, I confirm that. After confirming it, why should I unnecessarily waste the memory? If I store a variable as an integer, R is going to block only 4 bytes of memory to it. The same one, if I just leave it as a numeric, it is going to block 8 bytes of memory. An efficient programmer is the one who is going to write efficient code. The efficient code can be evaluated based on 2 parameters. Let's say someone, now recently Sandhya answered it, so I'm taking Sandhya name. Sandhya written a code in R, Murli also written a code in R. Both of us are delivering the same result. But Sandhya code is taking only 30 seconds of the time, and for execution, I'm sorry, and then her code is using only 5 MB of the memory, just 5 MB for an entire run. Whereas my code is taking 2 minutes of time. Her code is completed in 30 seconds, but my code is taking 2 minutes of time. Her code is taking only 5 MB of the memory, but my code is taking 15 MB of the memory. But both of our results are same. My result is same, her result is same. Whose code is efficient code now? Obviously Sandhya's code. Why? Her execution time is less, her memory utilization is less. Any code which is considered as an efficient one, if it is taking less memory and less execution time. Is that clear? Why we are doing it now? Everyone, are you clear with that?
Yes.
Yes, Murli.
Wonderful. So that is the reason we have a data type called integer. That is the reason explicitly we are going to store it as a, or we are going to assign this particular one as a your integer. For an example, especially for categorical variables, you know, right, there will be something called categorical variables, which will be used for categorization, something like IDs. Someone said account ID, account number. Account number, no way that I'm going to get the decimal points in that, correct? Instead of leaving it as a numeric, better I can store it as a, what I can call it as integer. I can save the space. Remember, whole numbers, it can be either positive or it can be negative, but no fractional or decimal point values. It can be positive, it can be negative, but no fractional or decimal point values. Okay, how to check that? We already know how to check that. Is integer, we can use it, correct? Wonderful. Now, you know how to represent it. You already done it, right? What are the examples? You have seen it already. So what are going to be the examples that I can say? Let's say that A, I already taken A, right? Let's say X. The X value, I can assign it as 10. Y value, I can assign it as minus 200. Z value, I can assign it as 0. 0 is also a thing. But if I represent directly like this, it is going to become numeric. All I need to put is, for everything, I need to put L after it. If I put L after it, then it understands that user would like to store this particular one as a integer.
Integer.
Wonderful. Now tell me the examples. Where do you use it? Again, I'll go with the same story. So to check the variables, what I can do, I can go with whether it is numeric or not. I can go with, correct? Is numeric, I can say X. Another one is going to be Y. Another one is going to be Z. There is another way also. Just like is numeric, I can also go with one more way. That is nothing but as numeric. I can also use as. See, this also works. Done? But when you say as numeric x, what I'm getting it? When I say as numeric, I'm getting the value as it is. Okay, let me tell you in a different way. Is numeric, I'm going to get true or false. But if I want to use as numeric, I can do like this. Let's do this. As numeric within this. True or false. That okay. Let's not go there unnecessarily. Let's not go there unnecessarily. Later we can convert it or not. For converting, we can use it, right? I don't want to do the conversion right now. Let's keep it as it is. No need to go there. Tell me the examples. Just like how you have told to me in this, can you help me with the examples? Where do you use it in a banking? First one is already there. Account number. No, there is no scope for the digits in that. You can use it. Then
customer ID.
Customer IDs. Okay. Then
Card number.
PAN number is going to have the digits, alphabets, guys. I cannot.
Can you period, days?
What do you mean by period base? Help me.
Like 1 year, 365 days.
Tenure.
Tenure.
Then tenure. Then credit card limit. Can you see any credit card limit in the digits with the digit points in that? No fractions, right?
Yes.
20,000, 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs, 5 lakhs, like that. Okay, good enough. Okay. Help me with the clinical. Clinical.
Sequence number.
Age can be 20.2, 20.5, possible.
Sequence number.
Sequence numbers, yes, wonderful. Then visit numbers, no, I cannot. If I go with
Unscheduled will be there.
unscheduled visit will be there.
Yeah.
I cannot. Then
Sample size.
wonderful. Sample size. No way sample size is going to have the fractions. Cool. Next.
Visit date, treatment order.
EY variables.
Eval, same. Okay. Eval can be digits, right?
Can have decimals.
Can have decimals, no?
Can have decimals, yes.
Temperature 23.4. Analysis
can-
value is 23.4. Dot is there. I cannot use it.
Yeah.
Study day variables.
DY
Study day
variable.
variables. Excellent. Study day variables. Yeah.
Duration variable, day variable.
Excellent. Duration
Like-
cannot be fractions.
Date variables stored in SAS as a numeric form, right? I mean, a number of days from
Adam level.
1920.
In
Everywhere
Adam
you are
level, we will use dates as
True.
a numeric type, right?
true, but you are going to use it along with the format, right? Have you ever used any
Yes.
date without a format?
Format
No,
is just to see, right? I mean,
Your data
internally
set.
it stores in
Your
internally it
data
stores in.
sets. Your data
Okay.
sets. Otherwise, SDTM also the same, no? You represent it, store it as a character, but always your end table is going to be, let's say you are submitting your XPT file for Adam. Obviously, your date is going to be either in a date 9 format. Most common format is going to be date 9, correct? Or it is date time 18. Correct or not? I can still consider it. If you want me to consider, nothing wrong. I don't hesitate it. I will consider it. Just tell me, still there are a lot of things.
Only heartbeats per minute and like blood pressures or pulse rates, the demographics of the patients.
I can. Still, we can take it. Yes, you can take it. No, nothing wrong in that. Pulse rate, I can take it. Pulse rate never be, it can be. Pulse rate 96.2 also possible, but our machines will not show in that way. Always it is going to be numbers only. Still, I can take it. Yes. Any other sample size? Why can't I take the phases, guys? Phases. Yes or no? There is no fractions in the phases, no?
Yeah,
There's one
cycles
text
as
to
well.
thing. Yeah. Phases, cycles, periods, all this I can take it. Okay, wonderful. Good.
Treatment count.
Treatment count, you can go ahead with what I can call it as this one. Adverse event counts, you can take it, or you can take treatment path numeric values, TRT01N, TRT02N, all these I can take it now. Yes, there are plenty. Just I'm going with, just checking what and all you can answer. Okay. Tell me now. Okay, let's do one thing. The most important aspect in the clinical trials are going to be subjects, correct? Let's do one example on this particular one. Generate patient IDs, subject IDs. Subject IDs for the trial. There are 200 subjects and subject ID should start from my favorite number, always 1111. People who are in the call, who are attending my clinical, know that every time I start my patient ID with subject ID with 1111, right? So there are 200 subjects. Subject ID should start from 1111. Can you help me how to do this? It's not random now. I cannot use run if.
Can we use a colon here? I mean,
Perfect.
subject ID equal to 1,
Perfect.
open brackets 1 to 4.
That cannot. Okay, I understand. Let's say subject ID, SUBJ ID. This is what we do. What you're saying is you wanted to use C of
1.
Tell me. C of, or you're going to use, or if you go with the C of, this is nothing but a vector. C is nothing but a vector. We are going to discuss that also. The moment you start with the vector here, you need to give each and every value separated by commas. 1111, 1112, 1113, like this. So anyways, it is going in a range, right? So whenever you wanted to go in a range,
use 1 colon 200? Like, we should, at a time we can create 1 to 200 subject numbers.
yes, colon you can use, but the colon you
Yes.
cannot use it within the C. Instead, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Instead, come out, you select the first integer as 1111L. I wanted to increase in a colon. Yesterday I told you colon can be used to represent 2. It act like a 2 from here to there, 2. So how many numbers I want? 200 subjects I required. 200 subjects in the sense 1000. Tell me the number. 1111. I wanted to go with 200 subjects. How do I go with?
1311.
1211,
1311.
1311 or 13. Okay, 1311. Yeah. Can I do that? That's okay here. Okay, let's not complicate it. I just need 20 subjects, just 20 subjects. Start with 101. It is easy now, right? Now I can say it is going to be 101L. From there, I'm going to start it. 20 numbers, simply I can say 120. Done, right? 101 to 120. 20 people. Correct? Now, let's say print subject ID. Done. Created. Right? All the numbers simply it has created by using the colon. Easy. Easy. Yeah. So our intention is not to teach you the colon, not to teach you the runif, all those. My intention is just to help you with the data types for now. Just the data types for now. Okay. Now let's say banking. Can we go with one more in the banking, or it would be okay, right? I think for now, numeric, it is subtype of the above one.
Sorry for the interruption. So if it is a less number of counts, we can able to assess easily. But if it is more counts, how can we do that in the
We can
same manner, or do we have?
No, we can calculate the length and we can do it, whether it is properly comes or not. That is one. Otherwise, in an incremental order, you can create the sequences. We have a function called sequence. By using the sequence also, we can do. We have all those. We will do all those. We'll do all those. For now, all we are doing is just the basics we are touching for now. That is the only thing that we are doing. We are touching the basics. Okay? You can have the repeat. That is nothing but the same values you can repeat n number of times. You have a rep function for it. You have an option of, just now, as you said, it is going to be, I know the starting and ending limits. I know how many I want to create. I can calculate and I do it. If I am manually calculating it, why I called myself as a programmer? There is no point calling me as a programmer. System should be able to take it. So I should give a starting range, I should give an ending range, or I should give a starting range and how many I want. It's supposed to create the ending range and print the numbers. This is called, you can go with the setting the sequence. We can do that. I can create the sequence. Here, the number is ranging 101, 102, 103. I don't want to go one difference. I wanted to go with 5. 101, the next number should be 106. The number should be 111. Like that, I want to go. Still, I can do it. All these are possible. We will do that. Those we will do it in the functions. Okay? We'll do it in the functions.
Thank you.
Yeah. So this is just a representation of understanding your data types, because in SAS it is easy, only 2. But when it comes to R, you need to understand each one separately. That's the reason we are going with this. Okay? All right. These two we completed. Then we'll go with the logical. The logical onwards we'll do tomorrow. Tomorrow, are you guys able to understand it? Sorry, are you able to attend it?
Yes.
Sunday.
Yes.
Okay, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So tomorrow we can start. At least we can complete all the atomic and non-atomic ones tomorrow. Okay. So I'm uploading the recordings, guys. I'll share it in the group today. Okay.
I'm not added in the group if you have already created one.
No. Existing one I have created. For the new ones I have not, but I have all your numbers. I'll create one group and I can send it across. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, everyone. See you tomorrow. Hope you are enjoying the sessions.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.